Greetings, Broncos, and welcome to our next 12th grade senior college planning meeting. Today's topic will be the Cal State CSU system and the UC system. So thanks again for being here, and let's get started on the presentation. So the Cal State's CSU. First step, Cal State Apply. Screenshot of their welcome page of their website. Simple Google search, Cal State Apply, CSU system, you'll find it very quickly. New this year, which is fantastic information and an update for all of you who are applying to the Cal State system. The CSU has extended their deadline to December 4th. Again, the CSU application is now due on December 4th. They, as a system, all 23 campuses, as you can see, have decided and agreed to give students, because of COVID-19, an extension on their deadline. So, what mindset should I take? Well, you've heard from all of our counselors and Coach Jamal, be done by Thanksgiving. The Cal State app opens October 1. This application does not include an essay, and the primary work is self-reporting your academic course history. Because of that and this deadline, there is no reason why you cannot successfully get this application done well before Thanksgiving. Remember the goal, beat the deadline, not meet it, okay? CSU Apply is one application for all 23 campuses. Now let's talk about that some more. You're not going to apply to 23 campuses because that's $70 per campus. So if I apply to 3 campuses, that's $210. What is nice though is the CSU is one application. So we've given you the example throughout this series of college planning meetings. I'm applying to 8 schools, 5 of which are on the Common App. The other 3 are on the CSU. Well, I'm only going to apply to those specific 3 campuses. Let's say I'm applying to Long Beach, Sonoma, and Cal State San Marcos. There's my 3. I will use Cal State Apply for all 3. Couple other helpful hints that the Cal State has updated the last 2 years. The GPA function is much improved, so as you self-report your academic course history, that function will help calculate precisely what your GPA is. Now remember, we are listing as semester, not quarters. So that calculation, I hope this doesn't happen, but there may be a student who lists incorrectly and does quarters. That number will be off, and they'll be, oh my gosh, oh my goodness, what's going on? It's because you're listed as quarter, not semester. So remember, as you're self-reporting, freshman English, biology, integrated math, sophomore high school English, junior year I took physics, you're listing these courses through your academic history, you're self-reporting. The calculation of the GPA will be done through their website, which is much stronger than the past. The EOP is now integrated into the actual application, so it's one application as opposed to 2, which was the past, so much nicer. And remember to enter our school code, which is 052536. That will help auto-populate the courses as you start to type them into the text box and are looking for chemistry, American literature, AP US history. By listing our school code 052536, the application will pull Rancho Bernardo High School, San Diego, California, and give you that information and make it a much smoother process. Okay, again, application opens October 1st. Read through your entire application and chunk it out. Do an hour a night. log off, finish your homework, go to bed. The next night, log back in, work on it for another hour, log off, get back to your schoolwork, and it can really be done pretty smoothly because the Cal State application does not require essays, letters of recommendation, or transcripts, which can be pretty time consuming with those three areas of need if they are required, but they're not on the Cal State. So again, you're planning accordingly, you've mapped out what is required, and you're not wasting time on an essay, and you're saying, I wrote this beautiful essay, I'm ready to submit it. They don't want to see it. They don't want to read it. They don't require it. Okay? You're going to send all your SAT and ACT scores. Last week we talked about 3594. Use that as a way to save some money, and it'll be sent to all 23 campuses. You're not applying to all 23. The example I gave a minute ago was I'm applying to San Marcos, Long Beach, and Sonoma. By using 3594, it goes to all three of those schools. Oh wait, I also added San Diego State last minute. 3594 will pull that score, which is very, very nice and saves some money. And remember, big bold letters, the application just this year has been extended to December 4, but you're going to be done before Thanksgiving. You're not waiting until December 3rd, okay? Beat the deadline. Okay, now let's shift gears. Staying in the state of California, let's talk about the UC system. Screenshot of their welcome page of their application. Again, quick Google search UC app, UC, University of California application. You'll find it very quickly, but here's their welcome page of their website. Again, you're going to create a login, access their portal, and then start to read and dig into the application and see what is required as part of their app to apply to their school. Now, one application, but you're not going to apply to all UCs because $70 per application. So if I do 3 schools, that's $210. So remember, your goals are specific to you. Why are you applying to these schools? Again, let's say I'm applying to 6 colleges, 3 are on the Common App, 2 UCs, and 2 Cal States. There you go. But I need to map out what each one is offering, okay? So, log in, read through the app, we talked about that. Also, similar to Cal State, no letters of rec, no transcripts. So don't waste time and energy on requesting letters of rec from teachers if you're only doing UC schools. You don't want to waste your time or their time. You're going to submit all SAT, ACT scores directly to the school, and remember the trick that we talked about last week, select share with other campuses within the UC, okay? Their application, which is already open, now don't panic if you're thinking, oh my gosh, it's already open, you're fine, is due on November 30. But you're not gonna wait until November 30, you're gonna get it done before the Thanksgiving holiday. Couple things to point out. If you wait till the last minute, the server for the Cal State and the server for the UC gets really slow. Because think about it, you have applicants who have procrastinated, they waited till the last minute, it's 11 o'clock, 11:30 at night on November 29th, and oh my gosh, I'm trying to send, submit, and it's just taking forever. You don't want that panic, you don't want that stress. You're done before Thanksgiving. Okay, new, relatively new, within the last 2 years, they've added activities and awards page where you can go into detail and depth about you and your activities and your story. So if you had an older sibling who applied to the UC system, let's say 5 years ago, this was not an option. And this is a really cool option, okay? Now, some helpful hints and tricks that they've given us to give to you. You can list up to 20, okay? Now, don't sit there and think, I now need to come up with 20, extracurricular activities that I've participated in throughout high school. That's not what they're talking about. They allow you up to 20. But look at that second point, and they really hammer this home. They want quality. They don't want a bunch of flim-flammy fluff that they can read and say, this is kind of a stretch. I wonder if this kid really was involved in this activity. They want quality, okay? It's also not a ranking. Choose the ones that are most important to you. So let's say, for example, I'm a peer counselor, I play on the football team, and I volunteer with my church youth group. Those are, let's say, my 3 big ones that I'm most involved in, I'm most proud of, that I feel like I can really go into depth. Then use those 3. And don't think in your mind, well, wait, I have 17 more open spots. They're not taking me. That's not what this is about. It's a deeper dive into your application to allow you to showcase what you've done. Leadership, commitment, hard work, balance between extracurricular and school performance. This is what they're looking at, okay? Again, some of you are sitting out there right now thinking, well, wait a minute, I don't have anything good. I've done nothing. I find that very hard to believe. And we hear that every now and then in the counseling center and the Bronco Center. You are all involved in something that we can use to reflect in this application. Okay, personal insight questions. These will be, in my opinion, the bulk of the time spent on the UC app. A couple years ago, the UC system decided we're going to create 8 questions and allow the student to select 4 to write about. For many, 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 many years, it was 2 questions. Here you go. This is your option and only option. Please respond to these, and that's it. I love this. I love this because it gives you more choice and more power in the process of you read all 8 and you say, wow, I love these 4. I'm going to write about my experiences and my stories and my activities and my leadership and my life, let's call it, with these 4 out of the 8, okay? There is not 4 that are better than the others. There's not one that, oh my gosh, you better write about this one. Ooh, this is the one that everyone loves, that admission loves to hear about. No. You pick the 4 that speak to you and jump off the page to you, that you feel that at the end of the day, when the written product is done, that you can say, wow, this is really good. Or when Miss Curry reads it, or Miss Chagnon or Coach Jamal reads it, they're going to say, wow, this is really good. That's what you want in this process, okay? You may not, couple big pointers, those last 2 bullets, you may not answer 5, 6, 7, or all 8. That does not work. It is 4. And a big no-no that they talk about at the workshops that we go to. The UC app has what's called an additional comments box. Students, we haven't heard from RB, thankfully, so our previous classes are listening to us. Students from other parts of the world, country and world, were using the additional comments box to take extra word count from their response and put it in the additional comments box because they couldn't stay within 350. That is a big no-no. They don't like that. That is something that will put you on the wrong side of the pile of not following directions, which is, again, you've got tens of thousands of applications to review. What's an easy way to lower someone in the race and the contest and the process, we'll call it? Well, he didn't follow directions. Let's put him over here and follow and read about those who did follow the directions. So do not do that. We have not had that. We have not heard from any admissions officers that an RB kid has done that. So please do not do that. Now, some of you might be saying, wait, Mr. Hunt, what is additional comments for? Talk to your counselor about that. There is a purpose for why that box is there. And we can give you some examples with you individually to talk about maybe something that happened in your life or your family that is kind of important that the admissions should know, okay? Everyone's going to be made aware of, and of course they are living through it, is COVID-19. So we're not putting COVID-19 in here because everyone's aware of that. Talk to your individual counselor if you believe you have something that may be appropriate to add an additional comments box for the admissions officer to read. Okay, I'm not going to read you, but here's 3 of the 8 of the UC. The nickname is PIQ's Personal Insight Questions. Here are the remaining 5. Again, I'm not going to read those to you. UC PIQs, personal insight questions. Again, as you log into the application or a quick Google, you can find these and make sure that you're taking your time and talking about it with one of us in counseling, maybe a trusted teacher, mom, dad. Again, you don't want too many hands on it. You don't want too many cooks in the kitchen, but go to a trusted circle of people as you decide, okay, these are the 4 that really jump off the page that I'm excited to write about. Okay, what are the UC admissions officers and reps looking for in my responses? What do I want to write about? Okay, first is, and I've said it a bunch already, you're selecting 4 of the 8 that you are extremely excited to write about, that you feel that you have good content and that you can drive home the message to the reader. You want to take ownership of this. You don't want to waste word count on a lot of fluff and flim-flam. You want to read that question, you want to get to the point, and you want to drive home the message you're sending to the reader within 350 words. Years ago, the UC Santa Barbara rep put up this example of an essay that was so well written. So we are sitting in the audience, she says, everyone read this essay. At the end, she says, what do you think? Everyone's like, wow, that was great. It's fantastic, right? And it started out, it was about a high school athlete, cross-country runner, and she opened it with how she's training and she's running the trails, and the beautiful sun is setting, and it's California, and it's scenery, and it's gorgeous. And so we're all thinking, this is excellent. What does the rep say from Santa Barbara? Her direct words were, I don't care. This is wasted word count. Okay, certainly we're gonna have an opener in an essay, but we don't wanna waste word count on, the sun setting and I'm coming down the running trail. So we wanna get to the point and use your voice strategically on the message you're trying to send home to the reader. And that's why we're here to help. Coach Jamal and all the counselors are here to help. You have teachers on this campus who are here to help, give you some feedback on your essay. Also remember, look to do new information. A trick that we learned over the years is admissions is going to read your application. So try to use the personal insight question for maybe something new or something you listed in activities and awards, but you want to go into greater detail. So for example, I shared that I volunteer with my church youth group, I play on the football team, and I'm a peer counselor. Well, maybe there was an experience in peer counseling, positive or negative, that I could really go into greater detail. That is different from the activities page that just lists that I was a peer counselor for 2 years, and here's what we did in just the program. Maybe there was something that happened, again, good or bad, or take my example of church youth group. Maybe I've done a lot through my church youth group on the weekends and summers that I could really go into greater detail. Okay, so that's another trick we've learned. Okay, so that concludes our presentation for the Cal State CSU system and the UC system. We are here and ready to help as RB Counseling and the Broncos Center with Coach Jamal with any of your questions. We have Zoom meeting links available. Email and phone call, of course, are certainly available at all times during the week. Please remember to watch your deadlines, communicate to the appropriate people, teacher, counselor, registrar, when you need specific documents, so we may help support you and everything is done with accuracy and on time. Thank you so much, Broncos. Hope to see you soon, and go RB.